Hello. I hope this finds you well and in reasonably good spirits considering this unprecedented and difficult time that we are in. As you may know, I am a third-generation musician. My father directed choirs and operas at the university level for over 50 years. And both his parents, my grandfather and grandmother, were musicians. In fact, they met in college at Taylor University while they were both majoring in music. An interesting family coincidence is that my father's first teaching position after he finished graduate school was at that same Taylor University. He was only there for 2 years, but during that time, I was born. So my grandparents, my father and I share a connection with music. We also share a connection to the city of Upland, Indiana. Now my grandfather was what you might call a child prodigy on the keyboard, both the organ and piano. By the time he was 14 years old, he was already playing for worship services at the Methodist church where his father, my great-grandfather, was the pastor. Around that same time, he was engaged to be the staff accompanist at a Bible conference, also in Michigan. One of the guest speakers for that week was a man by the name of Bob Jones Sr. You may recognize that name as he went on to found Bob Jones University. He was so taken with my grandfather's playing that he invited him to be the organist for a series of meetings he was having in Washington. From that time on, through my grandfather's entire career, he was a minister of music. First, in various churches in Michigan, and then later, he was director of the Maranatha Bible and Missionary Conference campgrounds on the shores of Lake Michigan near Muskegon Heights, Michigan, where I spent many of my summers. Now, as the camp was only operational in the summer, the rest of the year my grandfather would travel with various evangelists all across the country. And this gave him opportunity to pursue his other great love, collecting. Among other things, he collected pennies, matchbook covers, and hymnals. Now, my father inherited those three collections. The penny collection he found a buyer for, another collector, so it found a good home. The matchbook cover collection is still in his house in Colorado. There doesn't seem to be a great interest in matchbook covers at the present time. So if you know of anybody who's interested in over 66,000 matchbook covers, please give me a call. The hymnal collection is now in my possession here in my home in Monticello. I'd like to give you just a quick panoramic tour of that collection. There are over 1,200 hymnals from all over the world. While they're almost entirely Christian, they come from all sorts of various denominations. I would like to show you 4 that are of particular interest. The first thing you might notice is just how tiny they are. This one is from a primitive Methodist hymnal, and these two are both Methodist Episcopal hymn books. The other thing you might notice is that on the inside, it is just the lyrics. Now, how anybody could possibly read that is beyond me. Now, this one will show you the reason why it's just the lyrics. And the reason is the tunes were written separately, and a lot of different lyrics could be sung to the same tune. Here you see one, it's one of the oldest in the collection, dating from 1818, which is actually double bound. On the top we have the music, and on the bottom we have the lyrics. So what you would do, you would pick a melody that you liked, and as long as the meter of the melody matched the meter of the text, you could put any text to it and then sing out of it as you would a normal hymn book. It's also interesting to note that the first hymn, "Oh, for a Thousand Tongues to Sing." In addition to playing the organ and the piano, both of my grandparents had wonderful singing voices. My grandfather a low bass, my grandmother a high soprano. I'd like to play for you now a recording of my grandfather singing one of my favorite selections, a piece called I Asked the Lord, which I have sung on a couple of occasions at Crossett.
Going my way, he said to me, I will comfort you and lift your cares away. I ask the Lord to walk with me when darkness was all that I knew. He said to me, never be afraid, for I will see you through. I didn't ask for riches, but he gave me wealth untold. The moon, the stars, the sun, the sky, and gave me eyes to behold.